Tim Walz was one of those blue state governors that fell in love with the power to tell everyday Americans how to live their lives. He was still doing this in 2022. He even created a COVID-19 snitch line where people could rat out their neighbors if they were breaking his rules.
Paul Gazelka wants you to take the hotline down for people to report violations of the stay-home order. Do we need a hotline? Is it being used?
It is being used, and we simply want people to be able to call and let folks know, and it's for their own good.
Tim Walz allowed strip clubs across the state of Minnesota to stay open during the pandemic, but he shut down small businesses. And joining us now is Lisa Hanson. She's a mother, a grandmother, someone who'd never been arrested prior to 2020, but spent 60 days in jail because she decided to keep her small business, a coffee and wine bistro, open during the early days of the pandemic. Lisa, so nice to be with you.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Tell us what happened.
Well, in the beginning, none of us knew what was going on. We all, consented to this shutdown. And at the same time, we knew that a governor does not have right or authority by law, to shut businesses down and to control people's lives. We got our feet under us and we said, this isn't working out. We can't survive as a business. And we went through that first shutdown, full shutdown. Second shutdown came in November. And at that point, I told my husband that there's no way we can survive. If I close our doors again, there's no way we can survive. So my choices, I had two choices, either to close my business completely, walk away, we're done, or to open up fully and hopefully be able to survive the train wreck that had happened because of Governor Walz and Attorney General Keith Ellison. So we did the latter of the two. We opened up fully.
What is your biggest fear if these people, if Kamala Harris and Tim Walz win in November?
Well, we've already seen, I know what Walz is capable of. The destruction that he can orchestrate, the control, the tyranny that he takes advantage of, and again, not given to him by law. Certainly constitutionally protected are our rights. Well, if the two of those get together, we know that Kamala is also an evil dictator, and these two together, can we imagine what would happen with our great United States? We don't want to go there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's remarkable, Lisa. One of my producers told me that you are about to be a grandmother for the 18th time. Yes. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because I would not have guessed that. But you spent 40 days, or check that, 60 days in prison. You were sentenced to 90. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. I was sentenced to, I just want to point this out here too, is what I saw in my situation and what I'm hearing that we're seeing in other people's situation as well, is when you have a governor that is rogue and that is out of step and that he's beyond his powers that have been given to him, he's acting beyond those powers. That's where the judicial branch comes in. Well, every judge that I faced was in lockstep with all the other judges and, of course, with Governor Walz and Attorney General Keith Ellison. So I was denied due process all through the litigation process and the trial. I was not even allowed to present my defense in the court of law to the jury members. So I was found guilty on all charges of being violation of emergency executive orders and also public nuisance. I'm such a public nuisance, And so I was sentenced to 90 days, as you said. And obviously, I've never been in jail before. The first few days were very, very frightening. I will say that I was treated fairly, unlike some other inmates in other places for other situations. I was treated fairly, but it was a very scary thing. And to have all your rights stripped from you is like nothing else. You're confined in this building in a cell. You can come out when they say you can come out. You stay in when they do, when they tell you to stay in. It became, maybe someday I'll write about it, but it was quite the experience. And I hope I never have to experience it again.
My goodness. I hope you do.